Good morning. It's nice to see everybody at another State of the City address. I got to take these off or I won't be able to see. We have a lot going on, and I cannot emphasize that it is happening in Painesville. Much of this is because of the people in this room. Thank you. And our efforts, our staff efforts to make projects happen. Even so, it would not be possible without the approval of the Painesville City Council. I'm going to start by going over some of the major accomplishments of this past year, and then we'll look at what we anticipate in 2025. You've heard about some of these projects before, but that's because it takes a long time to make things happen. In 2024, we had a lot going on. As always, we hosted numerous events throughout the year. In April, we had a total solar eclipse. The city co-hosted a gathering with Lake Erie College for a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and our photographer, Chaz Irish, was able to capture this amazing shot of the eclipse over City Hall. Overall, the attendance at our events was high, especially in the warmer months. The Cinco de Mayo Fiesta, hosted by Ola, Ohio, was bigger than ever with thousands of visitors. If you haven't been, you're missing out on great food, live music, folklore dancing, giant piñatas for the kids, and lucha libre wrestling. This year's event is on May 3rd from noon to 10 o'clock, and I hope to see you there. Last year, Downtown Painesville organization brought back Painesville Art in the Park, which is a much beloved event. They had over 40 craft and art vendors in the square for their first year back. The newly formed Painesville Art and Culture Council will be taking over the event this year, and I'm excited to see what they have to offer. Another new addition in 2024 was the return of Safety Town. A huge thank you to the Painesville Lions Club, who took the initiative to organize and run the free 5-day program with help from various city departments and support of community organizations. During Memorial Day weekend, which was a busy weekend, we had 2 special ribbon cuttings at Kiwanis Recreation Park. The first was for the new Painesville Dog Park. This is an amenity the residents requested and would not have been possible without funding from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and Painesville Community Improvement Corporation. The second ribbon cutting was for the new splash pad. Anyone who has stopped by Rec Park this past summer will know that this is one of our most popular places in town. This project was made possible thanks to Senator Jerry Serino and Representatives Jamie Callender and Dan Troy for securing $100,000 in state capital funding. We also received $30,000 from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Nature Works grant and put in over $100,000 in ARPA funding. Another grand opening on Memorial Day weekend was Anthony Zappatelli's new establishment at 735 State Street, Zapp's Custard and Mustard. This former gas station and vacant property has been turned into a seasonal ice cream and grill business. In addition to the significant improvements that they made to the corner, the city assisted in installing new sidewalks, crosswalks, planting trees, and new streetlights to the entrance of the city. For those wondering, they plan to open on April 15th this year. If you know me, you know that you'll find me there because I live right around the corner. So my kids and I are there a lot. Painesville also had significant investment in industrial companies. PCC Airfoils completed a 33,000 square foot addition off Renaissance Parkway. Avery Dennison completed a 32,000 square foot addition on Chester Street. Grand Rock acquired an 8,000 square foot building for expansion, and Weaver Meats began construction on an 18,500 square foot addition on Fountain Avenue. In October, Pain & Pain hosted an open house of their new model home at 73 East South Street. If you haven't seen it, you need to see it. They are also nearing completion on a 2-story model home. Pain & Pain model homes are the first phase of a planned Highland Park development project on the former Lake Erie Hospital site, which was one of my projects for demolition. We wanted to thank Pain & Pain, Brett Dawson, Mike Cato, and Eric Payne for bringing quality homes within walking distance of downtown Painesville. On July 17th, Lake Erie College and Renew Partners hosted their official ribbon cutting of the tower, the new Lake Erie College student living facility located on the corner of the Painesville Square. Formerly a bank that was vacant for 5+ years, the renovation project led by Renew Partners and JC Contractors preserved the mid-century architecture of the original building while repurposing it for living space for 172 students. And the nice thing is, we've always wanted to bring the students into the downtown, and now that allowed us to do it. Renovation also included a fitness room overlooking the square, which is amazing, a study and student congregation area, a rooftop patio, and 2 restaurant spaces on the ground floor, which will be open to the public. This is the first major revitalization project in our downtown, and the building looks amazing. Thank you to Renew Partners, Sean Neese is here, and JCI Contractors, Charlie and Chuck Borsakoff, for being major contributors to the change occurring in Painesville. On to a brief recap of 2024 roadway infrastructure projects. Reed Avenue was completely reconstructed. East Washington Street was resurfaced, Roosevelt Drive was resurfaced, and Liberty Street sewer lining and resurfacing project was completed in collaboration with ODOT. While we have a lot of projects to be proud of, the South Park Place Safety and Streetscape Improvement Projects is one of the projects that I'm most proud of because it will encourage development and walkability on our square. This was a project that was needed to improve downtown and included sidewalks, lighting, storm sewer improvements, and landscaping. It started at the intersection of Liberty Street and continued along South Park Place, ending at Main Street. This aligns with Lake Erie College students moving into the tower and the upcoming remodeling of Victoria Place. This $2.1 million project would not have been possible without funding from NOACA, the Lake County Commissioners, Rich Regovich, John Pleshnick, and former Commissioner John Hamercheck, a federal earmark from Representative David Joyce, and former Senator Sherrod Brown. Continuing our strong partnership with our Painesville City Local School District, we work together to provide a building off of Chester Street for their construction program. Students learn skills of the trade, and it prepares them for a career in the construction field. In exchange, they are fixing up the building for our future use. Now, on to 2025. While it's happening in Painesville, 2025 is looking like the year of construction and grand openings. Renew Partners will be moving forward with the remodel of Victoria Place in 2025, and plan to start in June with a completion date of July 2027. They plan to turn the 191,000 square foot building into a mixed-use commercial and residential complex. The $27.5 million project will create 78 market-rate apartments, 60,000 square foot of B+ office space, and a couple restaurants. Maroos Development's Grand Riverwalk plans are moving forward, and you will begin to see dirt moving in April, with $1 million in the ground by June of this year. Grand Riverwalk is a $27.5 million investment in a mixed development and will include a restaurant and 111 units. This project is on track, and Grand Riverwalk is expected to be completed in early 2027. We want to recognize and thank Chip Maroos and his team, Del Maroos, John Sines, Vidmar's not here, but Kevin is, for this transformational project in downtown Painesville. In addition to the mixed-use development, the City of Painesville will be building a community amphitheater at the bottom of Main Street Hill before the entrance to Kiwanis Recreation Park and below the Grand River project. This is a $2.1 million investment which will be completed by November of 2025. The new amphitheater will hold approximately 250 people and serve as a gathering spot for various concerts and community events. You have probably seen that we will have some new restaurant openings this spring. The new Crowley's Dive Bar at 77 South St. Clair Street is anticipated to open in early April. This is the third location for this restaurant, which is an Irish-Croatian themed menu featuring their famous smash burgers. Please look for an announcement as they will be coming soon. Doug Dolan, who is sitting in the back, and Rebecca Graham are here, and I want to recognize and thank them. The new Wingstop franchise is anticipated to open at 70 Richmond Street. They had minor delays due to the interior changes required by their corporate office, which pushed the project back from their original timeline, but they're back on track and anticipate an opening in May. Pete Patel, who is sitting right up front here, is the owner, and I want to recognize and thank him. The former Fish Bar location at 11 Chester Street is now Johnny Gringo's. According to the owner, Louis Sandoval, the restaurant will serve Mexican dishes and American favorites, with Puerto Rican favorites as well. They also plan to open this spring. Jimmy John's is also coming to Painesville at 201 Richmond Street, which is the former Giorgio's Pizza location. They expect to open in June. And Faux Sunshine, a Vietnamese restaurant, is working on opening on the first floor of the tower. There are 2 restaurant spaces available on the first floor, and Faux Sunshine will be the first to open. No timeline yet on their opening, so watch our social media page for the announcement. Here is also some great news about our partners at Lake Erie College. They are up 300 students from last year. They invested $4.7 million in their campus over the last 2 years. They also added a number of new majors to attract students and meet the needs of employers. Students are now staying in the tower, and they are very pleased with the housing arrangement. If you haven't seen it, please take a look at it too. It wasn't the dorm that I stayed in when I was going to school, that's for sure. Thanks to the Lake County Commissioners, they are also building a turf field on campus for soccer and lacrosse, and it will be finished this year. Progress continues on the new extended stay Marriott Town Place off Brookstone Boulevard. The 96-suite hotel will feature a variety of amenities with an anticipated opening date in August of 2025. And speaking of that area, I want to provide an update on the State Route 44 interchange off of West Jackson Street. Our proposed plan would create a full interchange. The Lake County Board of Commissioners and the Northeast Ohio Area-Wide Coordinating Committee have been working on our behalf to move the project into construction and identify funding. We are currently further than we have ever been, and recently submitted the feasibility study to ODOT for their approval. Once approved, we will complete the interchange justification study and move into design, engineering, and environmental reviews. This $35 million investment opens up 110 acres for new light industrial and commercial development. We are hoping to start construction in 2028 to 2029. And I'm positive George and Loretto can't wait for that. I know they're around the corner over there. Although not a city project, the new Lake County Safety Center is a major development happening adjacent to our downtown. This $170 million investment will result in new jobs within the city. The new jail will feature 504 beds over 3.5 floors in a 210,000 square foot building and a detached sheriff's garage. To keep with the historic look of the downtown, the building will feature red brick, limestone, and gabled roofs. And I will say, because it is in our downtown, I want to thank Lake County, because they have worked with us with regards to the design, and I actually think it looks like a theater in some ways. I'm happy to share that although $129 million through the EPA Climate Pollution Reduction Grant was frozen earlier this year, the monies have been released and plans are moving forward. This grant was split between three parties, if you heard. $20 million to the City of Cleveland for 3 solar landfill projects, $30 million to Cuyahoga County for solar on a new building and an existing landfill, and $80 million to the City of Painesville for a new 35 megawatt solar field and a 10 megawatt battery that will enable us to close our coal burning power plant off of Richmond Street. Our electric plant employees will be retrained in solar maintenance and retain all jobs associated with our plant. In addition, the city will partner with West Creek Conservancy to manage a 1,000-acre brownfield, formerly owned by Diamond Shamrock. A small portion will be leased for solar, and the rest will be dedicated to Conservancy with coastal access and potential bike trails. Construction season is right around the corner, and we have a nice list of roads scheduled for 2025. Harmon Avenue and Lincoln Boulevard will be resurfaced. Valley View Drive will be resurfaced. The concrete portion of Bank Street near South State Street will be reconstructed. Liberty Street from Washington Street to Menor Avenue will be resurfaced. Liberty Street Extension will be resurfaced. North St. Clair Street from Main Street to East Erie Street will be resurfaced. And new sidewalks on Elm Street from the school down to Lighthouse Point will be added as part of ODOT's Safe Routes to Schools. And Our engineering department will be working on design for 2026 projects, including East Walnut Avenue, South State Street, West Eagle Street, and Colonial Drive Bridge. In addition, we are working on Lattimore and Mill Street design. 2025 marks the 225th anniversary or founding of Painesville. Sorry about that. 2025 marks the 225th anniversary of the founding of Painesville. So it's time to party like it's 1800. I don't know. I know that was mortifying, but I hope you had a good laugh. I don't think they partied that way either. We have a number of events planned, and they can be found on our website and on social media. I would like to thank city staff. All of this could not happen without our employees and dedication and hard work. We have an excellent staff, and it shows. A special shout out to our police and fire personnel who do an excellent job keeping the city safe and connecting with our residents. I can tell you it's a very exciting time to be the city manager of Painesville. I want to thank the City Council for putting their trust in me and my Assistant City Manager, Tony Zampedro, for his significant contributions. I also want to thank Kathleen for putting together the speech and presentation, and Helen for organizing the event. I also want to thank residents, existing business owners that are here and throughout the city, and those currently investing and considering investing in the city of Painesville. It is happening in Painesville, and the Painesville that you knew 5 years ago will not be the Painesville of the future. These are just a few of the projects that we're working on. So we will have many more announcements next year. So we hope to see you next year. And thank you for coming out, and have a fantastic day.